in a way that it shouldn't have. But when you're doing Tasha's story, and she's being explored as a non-binary character, which is fine. And then she has the conversation with her mother for the first time, and she just cold opens with, "I'm non-binary." I'm like, okay, all right, little rough getting right in there. But then the mother, she goes, she says something along the lines of, we have a word for that in the coon,
right,
for people who feel the way you do. And she goes, no,
right.
No, absolutely the fuck not. I'm non-binary, period. And I'm like, she just said, trying to meet you in the middle, right? Like, we have something, there are words for that in the Kunari that
right.
we use for that. You don't. Why are we using the term non-binary? It feels really out of place when you could have just left it with the Kunari example, because they're Kunari, and this is the world that the Kunari exist in. It felt really out of place and real world modern. I'm not talking modern fantasy. I'm talking outside of just fantasy modern. It felt horribly out of place.
And I guess this is really going into the character section of the review, which, starting off with Tosh, which is probably the worst and most controversial character. Her whole thing was so poorly done.
It was horribly done. They could have done so much with her being a fucking dragon hunter to begin with, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't hammer down on her being a dragon hunter at all.
No.
And she's a special breed of Kunari who can breathe fire, which they also didn't hammer down on at all. They made her entire personality being non-binary.
Exactly.
Why entire character story arc about being non-binary.
Exactly. Like the apocalypse is happening. Why do we care if you're non-binary? Final Fantasy 16.
Mm-hmm.
Bahamut.
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully done.
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully done.
One of the best examples in gaming history.
He honestly is one of the best fucking characters in any fucking medium, and he's gay, and I don't give a shit.
Because it's not his character. That's why.
No, it's not. He's just a badass character that's gay. Cool. You have badass characters that are straight.
No, cool. Bro, let's pull it back a little bit. And let's stick in the Dragon Age universe. Anders was gay as shit. But he was cool, he was badass. Nobody gave a fuck he was gay.
No
I know Anders for being a psychopathic, crazy-ass, powerful mage. That's what I remember Anders for being. I don't remember him for being gay.
No. What about Dorian? Dorian from Inquisition.
Yep, there you go.
Gay character, beautifully done story, wasn't hopped up on his personality. You're gay, cool, awesome.
Because
fucking badass mage.
Right. And they never made it about the gender identity. Their entire character was not revolved around their gender identity.
Can we actually let's go even further back before modern fucking 2010. Let's go to Mass Effect 1, where one of the first instances where you could actually get into a relationship with a gay character. It was organic. It was the same thing where you get a relationship with any other character. It wasn't something that was hopped up on a whole fucking story dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not the game for that. It's not. So right now in Dragon Age Inquisition, you wasted an entire side story on a character that should have been fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For what? To push an agenda of non-binary characters that have a non-binary character? Mm-hmm. Why? Why?
Because they don't know how to tell they don't know how to include that part without shoving it in your face. They don't know how to write a well-crafted character that is LGBTQIA, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They don't know how to write a character without that being their front and center character identifier, basically. Like Tosh was not a
Hmm.
dragon hunter to me. Okay, she wasn't a Lord of Fortune. Okay, she wasn't a fire breathing Kunari. She was the non-binary chick with mommy issues. That's who Tosh is going to be remembered as.
Which is crazy that you just regulated that character to that, because that's exactly what they wanted you to regulate her to. They wanted you to look past the awesomeness of her supposed personality to just showcase how she is a non-binary character who first off obviously has some type of mental issues. I mean, how do you just go off on your mother when she was accepting you?
Right. That's what blew my fucking mind.
How do you make, in one of the interactions there, she was talking to Emmerich and saying how she was pretty much just disrespecting the dude about him, you know, being a necromancer. Calling him all a bunch of names and shit like that, but yet you want to be respected,
right?
And that's okay. And then let's talk about probably the most controversial scene that came out of the entire fucking game, where her friend went ahead and called her she, but then said, "Oh shit, I meant they," which, you know, should have been was awkward in the first place.
Yeah.
But, you know, they should just brush it off. Instead, she was like, when you wrong somebody, you have to do push-ups. Is that really the narrative you want to push? Is that really what you want to tell people? That if I mistakenly call someone a she when they're supposed to be a they, or anything else, or a he who's supposed to be a she, when I accidentally make a mistake of doing that, I have to do push-ups? What is wrong with you?
Here's what really bothered me about that scene, is that it was horribly out of place. This was supposed to be a let's go grab drinks with friends and tell great stories. And this is Isabella, by the way, who they nerfed the fuck out of. But boobs are illegal apparently in this fucking game.
You could not make a hot character. None of the characters, but like I said, that's a whole bigger issue. So.
Boobs are fucking illegal in this game. Okay, go look at Isabella from Dragon Age 2 and tell me they didn't just straight up just like shing.
They probably did. Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
It's almost like it's a crime. It's almost like it's a crime to be hot, and it's
100%. Yeah, that's
like,
exactly.
like you can't have a hot guy, you can't have a hot woman. It's almost like it's a fucking crime. Like,
oh no, hot guys are fine. Hot guys are totally fine.
But not hot women. That's
nope.
Just can't have hotness apparently, but or it's just fucking a double standard. But you know, whatever.
It was just it was poorly written. It was a poorly written scene too.
Yeah, it really was.
It was out of place. It was poorly written. It was, you know, it was just not. It was like every other, you know, area of this game. It was just they just did not know how to write about what they're doing. It. Tosh being an abrasive character is one thing. That's perfectly fine. She's a dragon hunter. She's a fire-breathing Kunari. She's supposed to be aggressive. You know, you can reasonably explain that if you explore her actual character. But they made her character seem just like a really obnoxious fucking teenager who doesn't know who they are.
Yeah.
And why is that? Why is that one of the people who are helping me fight a god? I need a fucking dragon hunter. I need a fire-breathing dragon hunter.
Yeah, it was poorly done, and it's like it to me, non-binary people should be insulted.
They should,
about how they were pretty much portrayed.
They should.
They should be horrified and insulted by this. I 100% would be. Because
if your representation is an obnoxious fucking, like, just snotty, nasty person, if that's the representation you want, you should definitely feel offended.
Yeah. This game tried to be for you and said that we're going to showcase pretty much. We're gonna show what we've seen on fucking YouTube for maybe like a percent of 1% of people, of non-binary people who are out there, because of the clips you see on YouTube sometimes, or TikTok and shit, and actually put that in the game to say, hey, we're people too, this is why we're going through this. That is not all non-binary people. Just like you know, when you see gay people on media, that's not all gay people. When you see Muslim people or black people and all, I'm not a thug. I don't wear fucking do-rags all the time and shit like that. So you watch fucking Boys in the Hood or Straight Outta Compton, you think that all black people are like that? Let's make it. No. That's insane that you like I said, if I was non-binary, I would be very offended. But to me, but you know, Tosh is just the worst character. She's the worst character
by far.
Yeah. So let's go on to some of the other characters. I mean, Emmerich was pretty cool.
Emmerich was okay. Emmerich's story made sense, but like I said, like all of these side stories do not mesh with the main story, except for Harding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Emmerich's story was good. It was cool. He's on his way to Lichdom. He's exploring. He has a fear of death. Okay.
Right.
To become, to reach his Lichdom, he needs to die.
Right.
That is like his life goal is being held back by his greatest fear. Okay, that's a really cool story to explore. Just not here. Not at the end of the world.
Well, you know what? There is a way they could have worked that in. They could have made it so that way he died fighting maybe an emissary of the gods, or even the gods themselves at some point, and they had to rush to the necropolis to make him a lich. That's how they could have done something like that for his story. It didn't have to be a whole other side quest. They could have done something like that for his story.
Yeah,
it would have been awesome.
Well, they wanted you to choose between him becoming a lich and saving the fucking skeleton.
Right, exactly. And I chose both options, by the way. And he truly was fine with either one of them. It was not. I didn't lose him.
Yeah,
you can't just lose a character in this game.
You can't fuck up with these characters.
No.
You could tell them to eat shit and die, and they'd be like, "Yes, sir. You're my best friend."
Exactly.
What?
The fuck? Like Baldur's Gate 3, for instance. How in our game, how Karlach was so disappointed by what we did in the Grove, that when we got to her, she was like, I'm not fucking joining you. That's a whole fucking character that we just did not have access to. Like, based off our choices.
Yeah.
Like, Dragon Age is
no impact, no
game.
weight.
It's crazy.
Yes, that is the best way to put it. It is such a safe game.
Yeah.
And that's why it's just failed on so many aspects. It was too safe. It was just safe in every aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
Emmerich, like I said, Emmerich's story was okay. It just did not fit well here. Okay, if they made it a part of the story, we were like, hey, Emmerich, we need you to get more powerful and become a lich. And then they explored his fear of dying there. Cool. To make it a side story and then you choose between his lichdom and a fucking skeleton pet? Come on. It was boring. It fell flat because, like you said, no matter what you choose, he's good to go. Right, exactly. As a character, I think he's a cool character. This side story was just All right, but moving on to Balara. I forgot she was a character.
Yo, Balara was shit.
I forgot she was
so annoying.
Oh my god, she was like
she's like a kid in the candy store.
Yes,
that's what she felt like.
But like not just a regular kid, a 2024 kid. Okay. Like the ones that are hopped up on fucking pills because their moms don't know how to fucking handle a little bit of ADHD. So they just fucking medicate the fuck out of them. But it has the opposite effect of what it's supposed to do. So they just turn into these fucking crackhead kids who can't keep a single thought for more than 2 seconds. And they're raised off of TikTok. So every 5 words, they're like, I forgot what I was saying. And they'll move on to something else. And then they'll put, and then they'll put like, full sentence and then maybe or something.
But that right therein lies the problem of why is my medieval times fantasy game meshing with 2024? What is happening? What is happening here? There are no dragons in 2024. At least not that I know of. Shit. So Balara to me was a shit character.
Balara was a god awful character.
The fact they regulated somebody who apparently was like this big bad sorcerer to a side story was fucking crazy to me. Wow.
Like literal god tier entity. Okay, like
right,
literal god tier. He is one of the Evaneris. Okay, the same as Elgar'nan, Gillenane, and Solus and Mythal.
Right.
Okay, way up there, top of the line, motherfucker. And they're like, yeah, he's just some little bitch boy who's like controlling my dead brother. It's you know, it is what it is. And then you fight him. And once again, we're regulated to another reskinned normal enemy. For one of the elven gods. Are you shitting me? Awful.
Wait, was he an elven god? I thought he was like a human that went up against the gods or something.
Nope, no, he was an elven god. He was one of the Evaneris.
Oh, wow, that makes shit even worse.
I thought he was
really powerful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, he was like the god, the elven god of inventors, basically.
Right. And then the whole choice that you had of either the knowledge of the elves are lost forever.
That was so fucking
or
stupid.
You give them and then get good corruption. That was
what?
The dumbest fucking thing.
I'm streaming.
That was honestly the dumbest fucking thing. Like,
oh my god, yeah, I was like, keep the knowledge. What the fuck are you talking about? Keep the knowledge. What the hell? The entire story about the elves.
Bro, why is saving her brother? No, even better yet, why is not siding with Enders to fight the gods a choice? Why is that not a choice?
Wait, what?
Siding with Inaris. Why is that not a choice?
Oh, because he wanted to make demons out of everybody.
I get that, but it still would have been an interesting choice to say, hey, we have to fight the gods by any means necessary.
Did he want to fight the gods? He just wanted to restore the elves to their former glory. I don't know if he wanted to fight the elves.
No, he wanted to get rid of the gods. He 100% wanted to get rid of the gods. I remember that much. But like I said, that could have been a choice.
Awful.
Yeah. Awful story. And then we move on to Lucanus.
I don't even know what his story was so weird and out of place.
Yeah, it really was. Lucanus,
God.
Lucanus, I think overall was a bad character.
Entirely, I didn't give a single fuck about him or the crows. In their entirety, the crows, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Which is bad because the crows were like legendary when they were spoke of in the previous games. Who was it? Isabella, I think.
Yeah, Isabella.
No, I'm thinking not Isabella.
For the crows.
Yeah, Isabella was
I don't know. I don't remember their names. Yeah, Isabella was a pirate. I don't remember the fucking. I know Lucanus, and then his brother. Or cousin.
His
whatever,
cousin, brother, family, betraying. Yeah. Like I knew that was gonna happen since the fucking second.
I mean, you could tell. You could tell that was the thing. It was so obvious. It was ridiculous that the characters themselves didn't know.
Poor story writing. He was one of the best and most well-written characters. In my opinion, he had a lot of character development, and you could see him like really struggle with having to take on the role of being a griffin handler, and just really work his way through the kinks of the entire situation, and really just kind of came out on top of it, and really filled the shoes, and you saw him progress as a character. It was just a really good story. Now the problem is that it was kind of out of place again, like every other side story.
That side story was 100% out of place.
That felt like I don't even know what to say. You know, it's just like it wasn't random, but the way they told it made it feel out of place, right?
100%. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just such a well-written character, just bogged down by poor writing.
Yeah. And then we have Harding. Harding was actually my favorite character, but that's only because I really liked that they brought her back from Inquisition.
Yeah,
as a teammate.
That was pretty cool.
And she to me had the most interesting story because her whole fucking story, which was regulated to a goddamn side story, was the revelation of the Titans.
Yep.
And how the Titans were pretty much the Blight.
Yep.
You know, and it's crazy because she had all this anger that was pretty much summed up in just not even a fight.
No, it was a couple of trash mobs.
Right, that was just summed up and like, okay, I forgive
I'm not angry
for what
now.
they did. Yeah, I forgive them for what they did to the Titans. You serious? Seriously? I'm sure the Titans don't forgive.
No.
What the fuck? Why did we get a whole thing with the Titans? Like, what?
So here's the thing.
We should have got like a Titan rising up or the dwarves rising up or some shit. Like, what the fuck?
So here's what's really confusing, right? Is they kind of delegated the whole Titans thing to a side story, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they basically expect you to explore. Because at the end of the game, if you get the Mythal ending, Solus is like, I have to go make amends with the Titans. And if you don't do Harding's side story, you're sitting there like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You know, I do want to try playing the game without doing any of the side stories. I want to see if the game is coherent if you don't do any side stories. I really want to figure that out.
You know what I wonder is if you make all the bad choices, like for who goes where at the end of the game. Like if it's
die?
like where it's like, choose who goes and removes the wards, and I'm like, the one guy who does not know how to do magic at all. I'm gonna go with that guy, and I want to know what happens. That would be the one thing I want to see. Do they still figure it the fuck out?
I want to just do the fucking. I want to just put the game on the easiest difficulty. Just do the main story, nothing else, and I want to see if it's coherent. Because I'm sorry, if I still can't get the full scope of the game and all the biggest revelations of a game without doing side quests,
you can't.
That's a fucking problem.
Yeah, you can't with this game. Because
that's a real fucking problem.
Everything about what Solus did as Sven Harel back in the day to, the rebellion, how he killed Mythal, everything. All that context is gone. All that context about Solus, gone. He is just a dude who's doing stupid shit in your brain.
Right. I'm actually
That's
looking it up.
Really,
I want to know.
Really bad.
I want to know if you can skip them. I do
Skip
want
the
to
side
know.
quests? Yeah,
I'm not
you
100%. The character story.
Yeah, you can skip them. Absolutely, you can skip them.
Because it seems that way, right?
Yeah. You can only pick them up if you go and talk to them. What happens if you never talk to them? You don't have to do the side quests.
Yeah.
If you just power through that main story, which is really, really bad because the entire context of the game is in the side stories. Or rather, in some of the side quests, not the side stories. The individual stories.
Right, the character stories.
The character stories are inconsequential to the main story, except Harding's. Which is
not only Harding's, but if you don't do the quests for Solus memories,
Right, that's
in
the one
that
I'm talking
whole
about.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
side
with the
quest I'm
wolves.
talking about.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
with that one, you don't even because you don't get the whole full scope.
Nope.
Yo, and my thing is too. They like the dwarves were pissed when they found this out. Like we actually had a whole discussion about keeping it just with ourselves. Really? That really? Okay, but what about the other dwarves that Harding was talking to? You telling me that she didn't tell any of them that they don't know?
Same with the
right?
elves situation. Hey guys,
Right,
all of our gods are dickheads and they're evil and they're trying to kill us.
The elves don't rise up against them or for them. Like, okay. Anyway,
God.
the characters overall though, how they handled them was just awful.
Bad.